All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Kill a Kill, Episode 8. Okay, so Mako was just a wonderful, magnificent JoJo's reference.
That's right. This
Jotaro.
episode has some big jackets to fill. Because,
yes, indeed.
I mean, how can it possibly follow after what just happened?
I mean, she basically aura the Ryuko.
Yep.
And then got, saved by power of friendship and
stripping. Yes.
Indeed. And now Satsuki has some kind of a plan that she's been enacting.
Some sort of purging plan. Cull the weak from the ranks of the school.
Yes,
Those
it's like
not worthy.
she's using Ryuko to be basically the strong arm version of like her will, where
Right.
she'll basically be like, okay, Ryuko, we'll cultivate your strength and stuff, and then use you to weed out the weak. And then
Send
eventually
against you all the ones that I don't want within my school.
right, and then eventually try to, recruit her probably into the whole
probably.
fold of things.
Probably.
But yeah, this is pretty cool. Kill a
Yes,
Kill's
indeed.
getting more into the ridiculous and the awesome. So
As if
more
that
of,
was possible.
so more of that, and pretty good. So without further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, we're gonna start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Oh. Oh. This is a death school now. Spot the main character.
All right, awesome.
Ha!
Dun dun.
Naturals election.
Lay claim to your social standing once again.
All right.
Naturals election.
Yep. It's brilliantly funny.
Totally not meaning natural selection.
All
Not
right.
at all. Mm-hmm. Yes.
A battle royale.
Dun, dun.
I will wipe my own tears. All right. So I wonder if the teachers will actually be involved, or is it just the students? Like they said, the students,
Right.
but like,
I don't think we've actually seen any teachers yet. Like,
What-
other
what do you
than
mean,
the
the
homeroom
homeroom
teacher.
teacher?
But, like, he's the only one.
what?
Like, everyone else is just club
I know they're all
residents.
club members and stuff, but aren't the devas the four like main people? Aren't they in charge of something?
Yeah, but they're not teachers.
I know, but they're all in charge of a
Uh-huh.
specific, thing. Oh,
Interesting.
wow.
Okay.
Whoa. Dang.
All right.
So they're just keeping themselves protected.
Well, everything else goes to chaos.
Naturally. Yep. Yep. She can't enforce anything now because she's
Right.
separated. So they are walking around and stuff.
Yeah.
And then just elbowing people back.
Right.
That's amazing. See, they're going to enjoy
Personal
this
time, yes. Ah, that's right.
Oh. Admirable dedication indeed.
Oh,
See?
gotcha.
See, they're going to be involved. Oh my gosh. Absolute anarchy indeed.
I love how they still haven't changed the, like, generic...
The loincloth is mine!
They still haven't changed the generic character models for the students, though.
Right. Oh my gosh. And they're just calmly...
Just drinking tea.
Yep. Philosophical. Mm-hmm. Ah!
Nice.
The ultimate technique. Nice. Oh. Oh.
Because of what happened last episode.
Yeah. You need to breathe? Well, that's new.
Yeah. Nice. There you go.
Cool.
And they don't need to make a big deal about riding double being illegal because they're on a scooter. Regular mansion.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. Dad was pretty metal.
Yeah. That's new.
Wait, there it looks...
It looks red.
Yeah. But you didn't listen.
Oh. Jeez.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, she was exceptionally lucky she didn't get, incinerated.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was saying, no, don't go yet. I need to tell you so many things, so it's a good thing she didn't listen to him.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some of our own theories on that. You got everything underneath here. Yep.
I love how Mako just brought a rope.
Yeah.
It's funny because Mako basically being here is just an excuse for Ryuko to exposit, you know, as if to Mako or to Senketsu. But Mako isn't paying any attention at all.
Right.
Out of gas?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, okay. It was the
Yeah.
gas gauge, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Aww. Ah! Hey, hey, hey! Hey, yeah, they're coming back.
Yes! Yes!
Indeed.
Oh, okay. This is awesome.
Yes. Amagori Ira.
Yes.
Indeed.
That's right.
Get in. Ah!
I love how ridiculous this car is, too.
Yes, yes. He must be so proud of it, though.
Uh-huh.
He's like, I got to pick up some girls today. It's great. On a drive to hell. What is this song? Yes!
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something deep in that. He's like, you shoot up my car. How dare you? And Airsoft Club.
That's
The Automotive Airsoft Club. Oh my god,
But they would
yes.
actually be firing real bullets.
Right, right. This has become a Mad Max episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What the heck?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wonderful.
This is amazing. All right. And they're still continuing forward momentum.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he just got his
Right.
he just got his license. That's right. Wow. What a subversion.
Mako's just impaled into the airbag.
Wow.
This is why you always wear your
Ryuko's
seatbelt,
gonna have to
kids.
save them.
Yeah.
Motoi.
No, this is where he can show off his stuff. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. Yes!
I would wipe it away myself. Roll credits. Here we go.
Cool guys do look at explosions.
Yes. They stare down the explosions. That's right. He has the whip thing.
Yeah. I love how the airsoft guns are making like dents and stuff in. Oh, okay, but they actually are BBs. Yeah. Yes! 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 Oh my gosh, this is perfect!
Oh my.
And that's why he follows the Risatsuki so diligently.
So diligently, yes.
5 years ago.
That girl's wearing something that looks like Senketsu.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
I love how even 5 years ago, right? Back when they would have been in, what, junior high or middle
Right.
school?
Junior
Like,
high, third year, yeah.
Like, like, I think he would be a first year in junior high at this point. Like,
No, Ira is a third year, they said. In the thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Satsuki. Oh.
I love how his hand is bigger than the dude's whole head.
I've already bought out that despicable company.
Oh, of course.
Yes. This mysterious transfer student.
Uh-huh, yep, yep.
Accused of bribery. Oh my gosh. First year. Oh my gosh. As of this moment. Yes. I am their power.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. Yes. Here we are. So he awaited her graduation because he was a third
Gotcha.
year, yeah.
So he took 2 years off.
Yeah, yeah. He looks like a lich. Wait, like...
The more my hardness towers mighty and strong. Wow. Wow. Not pervert, convert. My climax, really? Really? Wow. That is excellent.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Scourge Regalia.
Wow.
That Oh my gosh, that is so wonderful.
Oh man. What is that? What is that line? Oh, they just finished gassing up the car. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did they just plug in for gas? Time skip!
Oh, okay.
Chicandas! Mortal Kombat! Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Ah.
Whoa! Nani? What?
Cool. Awesome.
We need an arena. Oh, dang.
Okay.
Cool. They're gonna end the episode. Don't lose your way! Dang, alright.
I mean, not that she needs a 3-star anyways, but...
Right. If anything, they made sure not to go against each other
Right.
to solidify power.
Oh.
Of course. Of course. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, and they already had 3-star uniforms, so it's sort of natural that they would be the ones up there, you know?
Right, but they could have lost theirs, is what she was saying. So
Right.
they need to maintain at least. Wait, so is she controlling this environment?
I'm not sure.
Ah, gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Polling place.
Knock them off. This is a Smash Bros. Battle. King of the Hill. All right. Whoa.
All right, cool.
Okay. Wait, is she gonna face them all 1v1 though?
I think it's 1v1.
But like that's that's 4 fights and
They're probably going to end the episode here. Okay, awesome. Are they actually going to show this fight in this episode?
I don't know.
Or are they going to end it like as soon as the transformation's done?
I mean, they're given the full time for this
Yeah,
transformation.
they're not fast forwarding it at all, so.
Galdrube Senketsu.
Yeah,
Nice,
okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Point.
All right, cool. But really, I mean, Era's was
Right, right.
so wonderful.
Like, how unsubtle can we be?
Yeah, like it's not even like it's not even a metaphor or anything at that point.
No.
Like,
it's just being hilarious. Like,
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's so much about this show that I want to get deep into, you know? And
But
then other
there's
times
things
I'm
like
like,
this.
you can't really.
yeah.
You can't justify it and say that there's actually anything deep going on because it's so so freaking like on the surface, like right there. There's nothing. Nope. Just it's all right there and plain and obvious for you to see.
Yeah.
They did give backstory though on Ryuko.
Yeah, and the backstory was pretty great. Yeah. And they actually had the person that doesn't look like they could possibly be a high schooler actually be older than everyone else. So it's like, hey, there you go.
And specifically with the whole thing of the scissor and the person that killed Ishin Matoi. Yeah. Okay, so that was a thing.
That was very much a thing.
Ira is his power climaxed and exploded all over everyone.
That's right, and they just couldn't
all
handle
at once. It was it was a final release, if you will.
Right after
much pain and
punishment and
build up.
Yep. That's right. That's right. Now the fact that he has a whip makes a whole lot more sense, and
it does. It does. Oh man.
Like. Okay, because all right, and one of the things that's great about this is that one of the stereotypical ideas behind, or just things that I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think of this whenever there's sort of the person that's very commanding, and then the other person that's like pledged themselves to them.
Right.
It's like, okay, now, how far does that whole idea of them pledging themselves to the other person go? Is it just a thing of I will be forever loyal to that person? Or are they truly pledging themselves mind and body?
I think in some ways, his dream is to fight Satsuki and be destroyed by her.
To be laid low and punished.
Punished very severely. Maybe in some ways this is something that we'll find out, but I don't think they're going to go this deep into it, is that Ira is actually a rules breaker. And he constantly tries to get in trouble.
Because he wants to be disciplined.
Because he wants to be disciplined. He wants to be punished. But he keeps getting punished by the four devas and stuff. Well, so he's like, no, it must be Satsuki. Why is it not Satsuki?
Well, and what's funny is that if you think about, the fact that he's like the super yoked, dude.
Right.
Adds a whole nother dimension to it as well, because... One of the cliche lines with like working out and stuff is no pain, no gain, right?
Right.
And the idea that you're supposed to seek that out and stuff because that means you're doing it right.
The pain means it's working.
Yeah. And it's all about making sure you break yourself down and then build yourself back up.
Yep.
And it's awesome. And so then he sees Satsuki as the pillar of discipline and all that stuff, and he's like, yes. She has reached heights even I cannot hope to attain. Right. So my only hope is that she will break me down.
Yes. In some ways, maybe he already has, by just being so perfectly, like...
devoted.
Yeah, in some ways submitted also.
Sure.
He is perfectly already submitted to her rule and authority.
Yeah.
So in some ways it was her resolve and her authority that she that she spoke with that in some ways already kind of beat him. So he's now just like, I just want her to command me to do things, whatever it is. Like,
command me.
Yeah. In some ways, whenever we look back at like previous scenes kind of in our minds and stuff, the second Satsuki came out and gave an order.
Oh yeah, he was
like yes immediately.
He's the executor of her will. He is the her herald basically.
Right, but it seems like the other devas, they seem to have a little bit more of a like, what can we do with this? Like they're looking to see what maybe they can gain from this whole thing.
Right. They treat the relationship between them and Satsuki much more casually.
Sure. Yes, much more casual.
Whereas he is very much a try hard.
Haha.
Like the fact that
there were so many dick jokes that
like
surrounded his character. Like once I realized I said that in the past tense, but like once I think back to other moments with his character, there's a lot of other ones that now start to make more sense as being like, oh, his entire character is a dick metaphor.
But the
part where he like bursts through the school, like. like the school door, and he like forces his way out, and he like extends out and stuff.
Yeah.
Even the fact that he's the longest ranging like attack person of them all, you know.
Yep. There's so much to be said.
So much.
But like the fact that he's like, the more I'm punished, the more like, what was the exact thing he said? But he's like, my hardness grows or something like that.
And he just stood like straight. He stood proud in some ways.
Right, exactly.
Very resolute and
he would
erect.
He would not budge. He would not move in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And it was painful, but he enjoyed it, because in some ways you could say that the harder he was, the more sensitive he was to the pain itself, and then it came and it built its way up to a powerful climax in which he erupted forth with all of his powerful energy. And and then of course, no, I don't think he exhaled or anything after that. He didn't let out some kind of sigh of, you know. But hey,
he will only make that noise for Satsuki.
Oh yes, that is true. This is very true. Yes.
My god.
So I've been calling him Ira, but Kamaguri, right? He was a third-year junior high, or that waited
2 years
for
to
Satsuki
go to high school
to graduate from junior high, so that he could join her in high school,
enroll at the same academy as her,
and at the same time, so he would spend the most time with her.
Yep.
And
in a way, like in a way, even though that's like everything they did in this episode with Ira is so like
funny,
over the top and funny, and like
ridiculous
gross and ridiculous. At the same time, that idea is actually quite sweet.
It is kind of sweet,
like it's hard to take it seriously and think of it in that way because of everything that they did this episode. Right. But like the idea of being so smitten with somebody, you know, because of because of how they carried themselves and everything,
with resolve and power.
Exactly. That you basically just didn't go to school for 2 years, just so you could go to school alongside them. Like that's like
in some ways,
that's a very sweet little story.
In some ways,
right
also
there.
we got to see the hero side of Satsuki. She looked out for the helpless and the powerless.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
is something that I think Ira's character is based upon a little bit.
Sure,
because he came out to this and he was already the student council president.
Right.
So he has a desire to protect and serve and to devote himself to a greater cause.
Right.
Something greater and more powerful than himself. So he looked at the intangibles, you know, the state of an environment. He's like, I will protect it. And he goes and he's like, I will protect these people. And they're like, what are you going to do? You're one person. We rule this place. And then Satsuki shows up. And she just decides, no, I bought out that company. I demoted your father, or like he's been accused of bribery and stuff, and it's just like, what is Satsuki?
And one of the best things about this is that this was 5 years ago. So this super serious Satsuki, this is her when she's like 12 or 13. Like,
if they would be 14 the third year, so be 14, 13, 12. So she'd be 12 years old here.
Yeah. So, but she still has the eyebrows of power that will not be denied, and then of course just draws her sword and
like, you know what she reminds me of basically is
take
Agent Smith from Matrix, you know, that Elrond eyebrows, you know, and then make him into like a power crazed waifu, you know, basically like, but like you have to have the order, you know, and then you know a katana, of sorts.
Exactly,
and then there you go.
Yep.
Just the power of the eyebrows is it's insane. It's amazing.
The idea that Ira was supposed to be 15 then, because that was 5 years ago, and he's 20 right now. He was 15, and he's already like
with his like mullet,
a giant with like long hair and everything. And
I think that was intended to be a mullet, or it was just a long.
I think it was just long hair.
Long hair, yeah.
But like
right.
That was just great.
We also had a little bit of the Ishin Matoi backstory bit, so we got to see him more like fully, and he was killed. But last time we saw the the other scissor.
Yeah,
blade.
it looked blue.
It looked blue.
That might have just been the night light or the
So
moonlight
I don't
or
know if
something,
the
but
color is really as important.
maybe not. Yeah.
But I think the thing that's being hinted at here is that, like, they each have like half of a scissor,
Right.
So at some point they were together.
Right, exactly. The two scissor halves must come together to
For
form
the ultimate scissor.
the ultimate scissor. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Does it have sexual connotations? Absolutely not. What kind of show do you think this is?
Right,
They wouldn't
right.
do that.
No.
Not at all.
I mean, we didn't just have like
Nope.
like a
Yeah.
ejaculating powers, just
not at
earlier.
all. Not at all. No.
Specifically with that backstory, though.
Yes.
What we know about Ryuko is her mother died when she was born. So, with regards to how she just didn't live in the house because of how her father and her didn't get along, and her father being wrapped up in his research and stuff.
Yeah.
There's something, I don't know, there's something about how we see, how would I describe it? We see similarities, I would say, in how Ryuko, when she's on her own and she's left to her own devices, she basically, kind of lost her way.
Sure.
And now, since the story has begun, she's been slowly accumulating people around her that are helping her
Find her way.
find and keep her way.
Sure. Yep.
So the idea of, her going into these kind of crazy situations with fights and stuff and, facing the four devas or something like that. I think the show is, it's not trying to be like, unpredictable in this aspect. It's that as long as she has these people around her, she can't lose her way.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think Senketsu is part of that. But given that she mentioned again, why was Senketsu made? I think that's going to be a big twist.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that we're going to find out that Senketsu was made specifically for her. I think that Senketsu is basically like, in some ways, an avatar of her father. Someone that can be with her
Right.
for all this time.
I mean, yeah, they can do that.
And so she won't ever lose her way. And that ties in line with the whole, we have our whole little list of things here that all are in some ways synced together. The blood, the threads, the awakening, the identity, and then the father.
Right.
So,
yeah.
I'm curious as to the potential of, like, what is the father's motivators that we can kind of extrapolate from what we know thus far. That's kind of my final step here.
The main thing that I would say that we can know, and especially since Satsuki said, "I'll tell you, who's responsible for your father's death."
Right.
She's
the prime suspect.
Right? Well, she's lawful enough that she wouldn't say that and not know anything, right?
So she definitely knows. Well,
she definitely knows.
Yeah, she definitely knows.
And that basically.
But do you think she did it?
Maybe. I don't think so.
You don't think it would be like?
I mean, it could have been her, but what we at least know is that there is some connection between her and her family, and then Ryuko's dad.
Yeah.
So what that entails, who knows? The fact that we've only seen 2 god robes, here's something curious. Satsuki's god robe, Junketsu, was referenced as her wedding gown or wedding dress or whatever, right?
Yep.
Now Ryuko has Senketsu.
Yep.
So, is there a possibility that there's some kind of basically that the 2 god robes were meant for each other, right?
Well, that kind of falls in line with the whole kind of scissor thing as well,
right?
The idea of split halves needing to be joined.
Exactly.
Well, I think that there's a lot of sexual connotations in this that don't have to be taken in the, I would say, kind of joking manner. You have this whole idea of joining when it comes to, kind of, sexual stuff. So maybe there's something in there with regards to not like anime fusion stuff, but like actual, like, I would say aligning together.
Sure.
Maybe moving in parallel.
Right, because
And that falls in line with the idea of Ryuko and Satsuki eventually teaming up.
well, because I had this weird thought that came into my head, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it's because Satsuki is such like a lawful sort of order and all that stuff.
He's like
person.
lawful neutral, like to
Exactly,
the utmost right now.
Yeah. And the fact that Junketsu was referenced as her wedding dress, that makes me think some sort of arranged marriage or whatever.
Okay.
Right? And that the other god robe was meant for her partner, whoever that would be. I don't know. Something like that, whether it's anyone in particular in mind or just something that was being like saved.
Sure.
And then Ryuko's father basically stole it. Or something. And hid it and whatever, and then Ryuko was able to find it, and maybe the reason only she can use it is because she was the first one to use it, so now it's sort of it's attuned to her
blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly. I think actually the joining side of things is the god robes themselves. It's not that they need to be
joining with their user.
They're joining with their user, and I think that's more or less something that, while. What does Senketsu mean? Just blood?
I can't remember.
Something blood.
Something like that. But,
well, yeah. I think that there might be something about how the chaotic nature of Ryuko and the violent kind of bloody nature of Senketsu is something that's just meant to be opposite of Junketsu, which main thing seems to be like a tightening, kind of like a pain thing.
Well, the thing Junketsu they said means purity.
Yes, but I meant that when she put it on, it like constricted her.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is that there's some connotations in the negative sense to purity, where it's essentially like it's a form of like
cutting yourself off from something.
Yeah, it's essentially a form of constriction. Like you don't have as much freedom.
Of extreme discipline.
Extreme discipline, sure.
Sure, which would make sense why Satsuki is
perfect for it then. But maybe that's something where it's not necessarily as literal. It's just that they need to see the other side of each other. Basically, they both need to learn from each other.
Yeah, there we go.
Because in some ways that's something that Ryuko couldn't learn because her parents were taken away from her. And Satsuki had, at least I would say, enough imprinting from her parents that she got like all the positives and all the negatives,
Sure, because you don't get to be that like hyper disciplined at 12 years old, right?
Right.
13
that was taught.
That was taught. Like there could be some natural inclinations there, absolutely, but
something tells me she's an only
that doesn't
child.
Just happen by accident,
right? But something tells me she's an only child with regards to being in the Kiryuin clan, and she got all the positives that they wanted to put into her. But there's this other aspect of Satsuki wanting to like make Ryuko stronger, like actually like cultivate her and kind of bring her up.
Because in a lot of ways, if you look at Ryuko's story up till this point, especially with what they showed of her backstory of how she became a delinquent and all that stuff, this is something Satsuki's seen many times before with the other devas.
Oh, right.
This is probably fairly normal for her. It's like, oh, you actually already have, you have a god robe. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That changes things up a little bit, but she's probably seeing this as just the same as when she recruited any of the other devas, and she's like, okay, yeah.
But back to episode 3 stuff, she didn't destroy her.
Right.
She saw the value in leaving the god robe with her.
Exactly.
So it's more than just, her being a deva. I think she sees herself in Ryuko. I think she sees a lot of herself. Like, in some ways, it's an unrefined version of herself.
Okay,
it's the chaotic resolve instead of the ordered resolve.
Sure. Yeah.
We look at Ryuko, and there's a lot about her personality that's incredibly strong, but we realize how dramatically insecure she is.
Right, how fragile she is in her strength.
Yeah, exactly. And we look at Satsuki, and because we don't have too much depth specifically into her other than like some pointed scenes, the insecurity that she could have is something that we haven't been revealed really fully yet.
If anything, that seems to be how they've been trying to characterize her, as saying that she has conquered all
that.
her insecurities from a very, very young age.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
And I think she is in some ways looking for an equal. She's looking for someone that at the very least could be someone like that. And I do really think that this show is moving like fast enough that eventually Satsuki and Ryuko could team up. Like it's almost like destined to happen, especially after episode 3.
Well, and especially also, as weird as this episode was, and as much as it was kind of a way to just give backstory on another Deva and
then
show
have a crazy Mad Max,
and display their power and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
this was a moment where we saw an enemy and another enemy
working together,
hanging out together, talking like normal people. That seems to be foreshadowing, if I ever saw foreshadowing. So, because it's establishing the idea that they could be on the same side.
Yes.
Theoretically. So, yeah.
It's really something that says the only reason why they're not friends right now is just the system Satsuki put in place. Demand that things be done a certain way. So they're enemies in this circumstances, then in this circumstances they're friends. So it's really interesting how much actually is determined by Satsuki's will. Like, if you think about how much of this could just change if Satsuki just decided, let's switch things up. Like she did this episode. Well,
and if Satsuki wasn't the one that killed Ryuko's father, and it was, someone else, like say some hitman for the family or whatever,
or like the like potential like the potential antagonist that Satsuki and Ryuko would end up fighting.
Sure, who knows? But as long as it wasn't Satsuki, then there's the potential for, after that point, them more or less not really having anything to fight about, because Ryuko wouldn't have any reason to have any beef with Satsuki other than potentially by association to the Kiryuin family and whoever they had orchestrate this whole assassination. But the school would be, she would have beaten all the divas. She would have gotten what she needed from Satsuki, and at that point, unless Satsuki wanted to oppose her further, there would be no reason for them to not be able to be at least on semi-friendly terms.
I see it as a thing where they would probably never really like each other.
Right, exactly, and that'll make just the interactions all that more juicy. But
totally,
I
think that we're headed into a place right now where the story's about to, I would say, go more into the fights and stuff, but also I would say pick up, like really fast, because the last time they did a fight that was big was episode 3.
Really. I mean,
a lot of the other fights were actually surprisingly short.
They were short, and they were usually not very plot relevant.
There was the one with the Deva. Thank you.
No,
not Samugu. The one that got a mask. He took out his eyes.
Right, Mr. Ronin dude.
Yes. He was hilarious and amazing. Very, very dramatic, and I loved him. But now, if she fights them each 1v1, I don't see that taking actually a lot of time.
No.
And that's kind of a typical final stage of a kind of battle shonen type thing. So I think that Kill la Kill is basically saying, hey, get ready. We're about to go through some plot once we go through these fights. And once we go through these fights, things are going to change and it's going to get pretty crazy.
Here's a way that they could potentially slow it down if they wanted to, because 4 fights, this was episode 8. If they did 1 fight per episode, that would be 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be right around the mid-season finale part.
Sure.
Right? So if
they could give backstory for each Deva.
Exactly, because at that point they'll have done all the conflict with them, so now it's like, okay, you're cool. Cool-ish.
Totally.
Whatever. We'll put up with each other. But and that could potentially slow things down a bit.
A little bit.
But that even if they did that, that would lead into the transition into whatever the second half would be very nicely, because they would have pretty much resolved everything to do with the academy and all of that.
I don't think so. I don't think so entirely, because the whole purpose of the academy seems to be to grow the influence of Satsuki.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And she's been acquiring what is it all over Japan? Like they've been like defeating the other
defeating
schools.
other schools in tournaments.
To what
whatever.
end?
Because by its reputation, you know.
I don't think it's going to be just that. Because if you end up having it be just that, then it kind of seems like a thing that was thrown in to put in a rule of cool aspect for Satsuki.
I would definitely say that.
Yes, but the thing is that do you think Satsuki needs any more rule of cool with how she just instantly steals a scene the minute she steps onto it?
No, but it certainly doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't hurt.
It adds to the joke of the seriousness of this high school experience.
Yes, but I'm going to throw out there a possibility that Satsuki is bigger than this.
Okay.
The rule of cool aspect is just for us to believe in whatever she says and whatever she utters.
All right. Okay.
And I think that Satsuki is one that's like if she's ambitious, she's like world ambitious.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the whole idea of conquering Japan's things like that has to be like a stage setting thing.
Okay.
She's setting the stage for whatever her actual ambition is.
Right.
I think her ambition is going to be so big, it's going to be like, join me, Ryuko, and together shall rule, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm just saying, I look at her character, and it's the kind where she is ruling from this, stage here. She's like, yes. But I don't see her being the kind of person who, once they have...
that would ever stop.
That would ever stop.
Right.
And it's the joke of basically every, dictator tyrant thing where it's like, okay, we've conquered Europe. Let's sit back and enjoy the spoils of victory.
Alexander wept for he had no more worlds to conquer.
Right.
Yeah.
People get addicted to the conquering aspect. And I think that Satsuki is still conquering because she's into that.
Now we have...
That's going to be her,
Because she's a dom, basically.
Yes, yes.
Now we have seen one person that seems to be above Satsuki, and that is her mother.
Basically everyone in the Kiryuin clan is above her.
But because they introduced her mother, I think they might go into something where it's not just about Satsuki; it's about what the Kiryuin family as a whole is doing.
Okay.
As a way to sort of peel back the curtain a bit, so that way it's like, yes, you defeated the Devas and all that stuff, but this school is one of many, or whatever.
What did her mom look like again?
I don't know. She looked really kind of gaudy and because she was talking about some fashion thing. Or
it was on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, they didn't even show her full look.
It looked like she had a really big dress and a really big hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I think about whenever we have a show that's based around identity, and I just wonder how important the parents are to the actual plot.
Oh.
And generally speaking, identity-based storylines are incredibly focused on the mentor-student, child-parent relationship.
Uh-huh.
Now, in this one, we have it with Ryuko and her father. But the thing is, the father's dead.
Right. And he wasn't ever really a mentor. He was just a father.
Right. But we don't know why he did what he did. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to be his plot-relevant reveal. It's just why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But
his connection to the Kiryuin family.
Yes. Specifically, though, then with Satsuki, if she's meant to be some kind of order, resolve, mirror of Ryuko, the fact that we got introduced to the mother on her, side of the story, but not the father, I find that to be very, very interesting.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's another opposite thing. We have the living mother and the dead father over here. So I wonder then...
Yeah, because her father, Satsuki's dad is dead, right?
I don't know if we know anything about...
Oh, okay. I thought they mentioned at some point something about her dad, or... I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go back and look through the episodes, specifically the ones that have the Satsuki focus. But I don't...
I think they might have mentioned him at some point, in one of the flashbacks or something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I think it was when when she was shown Junketsu for the first time and she was like a lot younger or something like that.
Was it like your father would have wanted you to have this?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go back and check, but what I think is going to happen here is that, you know, Satsuki has a current, like, kind of submissive relationship to the mother, but she went and broke out Junketsu before it was time. That is an act of rebellion.
Okay.
And if we look at this from the standpoint of an identity story, one of the things that you need to do eventually as a kid is to separate your identity from your parents.
Sure, figure out who you are as you.
Independent of them. You can get back to interdependency eventually, and that's if you end up having a healthy relationship, but you know, not all of us have that kind of opportunity. So what if this is more of a thing for her about taking the clan, about it becoming her own thing, so she then would have control over all of it.
Okay. What would be amazing is if we got to see Satsuki basically do something where she kind of like
power played
and like usurped the clan from
that's what I think she's going to do. I think that's what she's going to do.
That would be excellent.
And I think in some ways she needs someone like Ryuko in order to make it just, you know,
sure.
definite.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe in some ways we can look at the whole academy side of things, and it's just a way to bring up the strong. So it's her way of like preparing an army.
Sure, yeah, getting allies and
and also loyal servants.
Because
if she just constantly has on display this charismatic energy of just serve me, eventually people like, you know, Ira will show up. And they'll just be like, anything you say, I will do. You know,
right?
Like those are the kinds of people that like you'd want leading your army.
Exactly.
And,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I like the idea of the storyline having this focus that ties in the school stuff, but then moves to like the next stage, not necessarily abandoning anything to do with the school, but like moving on to like, okay,
sure.
Then why is all this happening with the people that know things, aka Isshin Matoi and Kiryu and Satsuki.
One of the things that I just thought about, okay, so they had her mom, Satsuki's mom, be in like fashion, right? And that totally fits in with the whole idea of the school uniforms, right? Totally makes sense, right? Here's the thing though. Fashion is about appearance, right? And while Satsuki definitely doesn't have a problem with appearances, you know, and keeping those up, right?
Sure.
You know, displaying strength and all that, she seems to be way more practical. So if you were to use that from a standpoint of like reading into personalities,
sure,
I think that's actually something that might clue in a lot to the idea of if Satsuki basically says this family needs new leadership because, you know, maybe it's something of like, you've been focused on the vanity aspect of, you know, the fact that you have a position of power or whatever.
Sure.
And she did say this episode how she was going to use whatever power she could and make it her own,
like,
you know,
absorb it.
Right, exactly.
That actually reminds me a lot of Senketsu's thing with taking in the life fibers.
And it did show, like, Satsuki, I mean, it was an excellent shot, but her just growing into, you know, a giant, you know, atop the roof of the school. So I would say I like that theory.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this is a very thought-provoking episode.
Yes.
It's a setup episode as well for some cool fights, which I'm excited for, because last time we got some really cool fights. They were,
oh boy.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful stuff. So, guys, if you want to watch the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. Any kind of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.